Hello everyone, this is Abdullah Murad and this is a tutorial for Class IST380. In today's tutorial we're going to create our first Android application, and in this first application we're going to create a simple quiz where users will be prompted to answer questions, and then the application should check if the answer is correct and display the appropriate messages. A picture of the final layout would be it's provided on your tutorial, so let's check it out. So this is how the final look and feel should look like in your application. So let's see what we have here. So for example, we have on the first, we have a text view, and then there's an edit text and two buttons. There's also a text view to check if to display the appropriate message if the answer is correct or not. So let's do it. And now I am in my Eclipse. I just run it, and then the first thing that I want to create is an Android application. And basically I want to click here in the right upper corner for where it says new. Just click on it and choose Android project, then click next. For some of you, if you have an updated version of Eclipse, it would show you another screen, but just try to input. Will show you more options here, but for me it just divided into multiple screens. So just follow up with me and try to fill out the information right. So I'm gonna name our project quiz, and as you can see, because I already have a quiz, so I need to name it another to something else. So I'll just have it quiz 55. Feel free to name it whatever you like. Then I'm gonna click next, and then I'm gonna use the default simulator because I'm not gonna run it on a device, so it doesn't matter which targeted SDK that I'm using. And the next, I'm gonna name the package to CGU.edu. .edu .ist+380 tutorial. Let's put our initials first, Murad A, so we know, and then tutorial 2 quiz. Okay. And it would please keep it checked here, so it would create the first activity for you, which is quiz, the project name and then activity. That's okay, just keep it as a default, and then I'm going to click finish. So once you click finish, you will have the quiz somewhere here. I have many projects, you shouldn't have these projects, but just go to the quiz that the project that you just created and expand that. So I'm going to click on expanding that. And I'm going to go directly to the layout where I'm going to create the graphical user interface. So I'm going to go to the resources here and then expand that, and then go to the layout folder, expand that again, and double click on the main.xml. Just waiting here to get it up. So this is what you're gonna see if you click on main.xml, which basically it's the graphical user interface representation where you can create buttons. You can just drag and drop from the libraries here. And the first thing I'm gonna do, because we have a default message here saying hello world and then the project name, I'm just gonna delete this. So either you right click on it and delete, or just click the delete button, and that's what I'm gonna do here. So basically we need text view, we need an edit text and two buttons and one text view. So let's drag and drop, and this is the first one. I'm gonna click on it, right click actually on it, and then I'm gonna go down all the way to properties. So once you do that, it would show here on this right corner, and then for this properties, as it says in the tutorial, just change the ID. So I'm gonna change the first ID, and make sure you typed it as it is, so because it's case sensitive. So I'm gonna change the first ID to question text view. So let's have it there, question text view, and remember to have the capital letters. for question and text and view. Alright, so we get that, and also we're gonna change the width for this text view, and basically we're gonna go to this layout width. I'm gonna change it to match parent so it would expand, and as you can see if I click here it did expand. So another thing I'm gonna have is the text field. I'm gonna have an edit text, just gonna drag and drop, and again in the same way you notice that I already docked the properties here, but if you don't have it, just right click on it and again it would show up here. And we need to change the ID as well. So this is an edit text, just highlight the part here, don't do anything because this would add the ID. So I'm just gonna change the name of that ID. So I'm gonna change it to answer text, and again all this information is written exactly like it is on the tutorial, so just follow the steps in the tutorial. And then on the width, again I will have it match parent, and it's already match parent so I don't have to change it. Then I'm gonna drag and drop one button first. So let's have one button, and in this button I'm gonna change three things. One is the ID, and the other one is the text that's written on the button, and the width. So let's go to the ID first. So in the first button ID would be answer button. Okay, answer button. Alright, so for the text that's written on the button, I'm gonna go down on this here, the text. This is basically doesn't change anything, but it just tells you, give you some notation on what this buttons. Normally I would use fully qualified name, so I can know. So it's more user intuitive, and the user would know what does the button do. So let's name it check answer. And the last thing I want to do is here I'm gonna just change the width to match parent so it would expand. As you can see, if I clicked here, match parent, and if I click here, this would show up and expanded. So another thing, we need to add another text view here. I'm just gonna drag and drop another text view, right click on it, join, and you should get the feel of it right now. Just change the ID again, and this time I'm gonna name this answer text view, and then change the width to match parent, and here we go. So just before we do this, for the last one, the button here, there are two ways to do this, either from the properties here where you have a wizard, or you can do it from when you click here on the XML file. So each screen, it has an XML representation of it. So we have, this is text view, edit view, and it has all the properties. So if for me, if I have a lot of buttons and stuff, I'll just copy the code and go here and change the IDs and change. So it's easier. So I'm gonna change it from here just for the sake of trying things out. So for the last one, it would be question button, and then for the text, this should be show next question. And then for the layout, for the width, I'm gonna have it as match parent. So I'm gonna copy it from here, and as you can see, sometimes it's easier for me just to go from the XML file and change stuff. Once I finish, I'll just save, and as you can see, if you go to the graphical layout, you can see all the changes that we just made. it's more advisable to it's more recommended to just go after this and try to build the application. So let's build the project. What I did is that I click on the name of the project and right click on it, and then went to build project. For some of you don't have this, that's fine, you can just go and run the application, but I'm just gonna build this. And now I want to go and try to change the code so we know so we get the answer with the questions down, and we get all the other code. So let's go to source here, expanded, and then quiz 55 activity. Double click on it and it would show here. So in this we have an empty code, and by default it would create the onCreate method. So this is the method that would run when you first run your application. So it would the execution of your application would start from here. In your tutorial, if you go back to the tutorial, it says copy the code. So we need variables for the first buttons and the text view that we just created. So I'm just gonna go follow the tutorial log. I'm just gonna copy whatever we have. So basically the idea behind this quiz is that we store the questions and answer in arrays. And basically if you don't know the arrays, it's an object that holds multiple values, and it has a fixed length and an index where you can access each variables, each object or each string inside that array object by its index. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna compare the index of each one. So if we have question 1, we're gonna compare it with the index of answer 1. If the number matches, then this is a correct answer. If the number doesn't match, then that's a wrong answer. So we're gonna do it here. Basically first we're gonna have variables for each one of them, and I'm just gonna copy whatever we have in the tutorial, or Command and C, and then I'm gonna go to this file and just write after the class name. I'm gonna have some space here, and then copy the variables. To clean it up, it doesn't matter if you have it on one line or multiple lines, but just I like it clean here. So let's clean it up a little bit. Now you see these red underlines here because there are libraries we need to import for the buttons to work. So I'm just gonna click on it, and it would normally the IDE would suggest the right library for you to import. I'm just gonna click on it, and as you can see it went for the 2 buttons. Again, I'm gonna do it for the text view and also for the edit view. Just go to it, click on it, and click the import. Now I'm gonna go back to the tutorial again, so we have the other code. As you can see, we have this init method, which is for initialization. This is an explanation of what's going on in this code. So we have 2 arrays that holds the question and answer, and then we can create references so we can connect the buttons that we created in the graphical user interface. And basically when you create the buttons, you create the variables here and then link it to the buttons there on the graphical user interface. So we have to search it by ID, and then we write the exact name of that button. And again we do the same thing. The last thing we need to do is that we have an action listener, and basically what the action listener do is it waits until you click. So this is the on-click action listener. So we wait until you click, and then it would ask you what you want to do. So by setting up this, we're waiting for the button, for the question button. If it's clicked, we're gonna execute this code here. So for the question button, if it's clicked, we're gonna show the questions. And again we do this for the answer too. So let's just copy the code as it says in the tutorial, and all the way to the end, all the way to here, to this last brackets. So I'm just gonna click copy and then go here, and just be careful, I'm gonna add it here after the onCreate method. So this is the end of the onCreate method. As you can see, this is the open brackets, this is the ending brackets. Just add some space here and paste. So I did paste the code, the whole code after for the initialization method. And we have some errors here. I'm just gonna click on it, and I want to see what it says. So yeah, for the view and for the action listener, we need to import the libraries. So here's the view. Double click on the import, and it should be done. Action listener again. Let's see. As you can see, if you copy the code, sometimes you don't see some of the stuff. So it did copy a period here. I want to make it clear. So this is the period, the small red one here. Just make sure that you delete this. It would, because you know you're coming from a PDF, and it sometimes it grabs some stuff from it. So I'm just gonna delete that. That would eliminate one of the problems here. And again, we're gonna go and solve each one of these here. So it says set key. No, I'm not gonna do anything with that. For the view, we already imported the library. Yeah, we'll see what's. Let's try to build and see if this will work. I'm gonna click on the name of the project, right click on it, and then say build the project. Okay, so we have let's clean it up a little bit so we know what's going on here. Oh yeah, I didn't if you do the same thing, just try to have everything in one each line in one answer, so you know the end of the line by this semicolon. So just clean it up so it would know you would have each line of code alone, so it would tell you to import that library for that line only, but because they were mixed together, so it didn't know, the IDE didn't know which library belongs to what. So just a cleanup would solve the problem. So now I have this on one line. Let's see if I can import the library. Not really. Click on it. Now I have the library. So I'm gonna import the on-click listener. Just click on it, double click on it, and now it did solve the problem. And also here for another cleanup, and then I'm gonna go. I think there is a small period here just before the letter P, and yes, I'm right. So there's a small period here that I needed to eliminate as well. So just be careful when you copy from the PDF file, and you need to clean it up. I'm just gonna delete that, and boom, the problem went away. So the last thing we need to do is that we already created this initialization method that does all the things for us, and the last thing we need to do is just we need to add it here on the onCreate. So when the application executes, it would go to this method init and then semicolon. Let's see if that so I think we just finished the application. Let's run it, and I'm gonna click save first, and then go to the name of the project, right click on it, and run as Android application. And as you can see, it's trying to build the application right now, and you see this small green Android icon here. When you click on it, this is the emulator, so it's trying to run my application. Once it runs, you should see something like that. This is the name of the project here, quiz 55, and then once you do that, you just show the next question, because now it's in the first state. Just show the next question, and then it says what's the capital of Egypt. I'm gonna answer it right. See, check the answer, and yes, you're right. Go to the next question. What class you are in right now? I'm gonna answer it wrong, so let's say IST480. Check the answer. No, change it back to 380. Check the answer, yes. So basically this is the application. In the tutorial it says that you need to do other stuff too. So as a quiz for you, or as an assignment, I just want you to play a little bit with the questions and answers. So you might let's give you a hint on that. This is the string for the questions, and this is another string for the answers. So if I added here another question on the same way, just gonna add a comma and add another question. What is your name? Let's say, what is your name? And my answer for this one would be Abdullah. Remember to have it in quotes because it's a string, so it knows what's that. So if I saved, run the application again, run as Android application, gonna go here to quiz 55 again, show next questions. What's the Cairo? Check answer, right, go to the next one, IST380, check answer, go to the next one right now, boom, what's your name? So if I said Abdullah, check answer, and it would give me the right answer. If I said something else like John, check answer, sorry, the correct answer is Abdullah. So I want you to go and play with it a little bit. I don't want to feed you the other answers, just that change the number of questions, try to add more answers, and play with it a little bit. Show the number of questions. So let's say this is question number 1. So I showed you how I changed the question. Just change the number, and try to add a text view where you can display the number of questions. Let's say we have 3 questions. And how you do that is that you just try to count the number of where you can have the length of the array, the length of the question array. And well, I don't wanna go in detail on this. Just try to do it, and if you have any questions, let me know afterward, or let me know in class. The last step we're gonna do in this tutorial is that we're gonna commit our code. So I'm gonna go to the name of the project again. Just let me close it so it would look cleaner. So click on the name of the project, and actually right click on it, and then once you go to team, as you can see I have 2 options here, apply patch and share project. So I'm gonna do share project. And once you do that, it would give you options. If you don't have the SVN or CVS before, you don't have to worry about this, but because I used different version controls, so for this tutorial we're gonna use the get one. I'm gonna click next, and then if you already configured that, as we did in class, we should have it here. So if I click on it, I will just have it there, and it would ask me if this is for quiz 55. Yes, for quiz 55, which is the quiz that I just created. It depends, maybe you change the name for this, and just choose the project that you have, and then I'm gonna click finish. So now you notice that the name of the project changed to IST380 master, and that's because it just linked that quiz to my repository, to my local repository. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna go team again, and then commit the code. So it would ask me to write a comment for this. Let's say my first app, and then in parentheses quiz, and then I'm gonna select all. So I'm gonna go here in this small button here, select all the files, and then commit. And now it's all committed. So once you know that you did the right thing, because you see this golden barrels here on the files. Now it's already committed in your local copy or in your local repository. Now I'm gonna push it to the repository online, so I can share it with others. So I'm gonna right click again on the name of the project, and then I'm gonna go team and then remote. So we already did the remote configuration for you in class. You should have these options. So once you go to remote, you click push, and then in push you will have the name of the you have the link already configured for you, and just you need to click finish. And once you do that, you would run you would upload the project to your online repository, and I click OK. And then if you go back and check in your repository, refresh the page. So it's not here right now, but if I refresh the page, then it's here, quiz 55. You click on it, you'll see all the files that you just uploaded. So basically this is it, and I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any question in class, or send me an email. Alright, and you have a good day.